Good evening, humans. TyrannosaurusMoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Marvel Legends X-Men Age of Apocalypse Colossus Wave Iceman figure. And I hate everything cold, but Iceman gets a pass, and this is my favorite version of Iceman. So let's take a look at this figure. Let's do this. So aesthetically speaking, Iceman is a very basic character. After all, he is a man that is ice. And yeah, so the original design for Iceman, is probably many to most of you watching this know, is just like, you know, kind of a standard man made of ice, and he wore trunks. This version is literally just kind of like an ice golem sort of look, and I love the way they did it. I love the like ice spikes and stuff like that, and they did a gorgeous job of sculpting these in. And this back piece is a separate piece glued on, but looks really kind of seamless. Unless you're looking up really, really close, and they did this nice kind of frosted white tips to all those little icicles. And then, you know, the translucent plastic itself just looks fantastic and has a really nice clarity to it. So that's really cool. And then you got some like more of that frost on the chest and, you know, forearms, then comes down here to the feet, just like really nicely done. It doesn't distract at all. The sculpt itself really harkens back to that artwork, and really appreciate that. So just super well done. And yeah, all I gotta say is I just love the look of this figure. So absolutely great aesthetics. For accessories, we don't get a ton here with Iceman, but characters like him don't tend to get really huge loadout when it comes to Marvel Legends, so that's, you know, understandable and kind of expected. But regardless, what is here is nice. And right out of the box, we get a couple of hands. So we got a left hand that is just kind of your open splayed hand, and then a right fist. Zoom in there. There we go. So you got a little bit of that extra kind of icicle sculpting on there too. Wow, my camera does not want to zoom in there. But yeah, a fist. And and then you get two other hands, which are kind of more clawed, using his ice powers hands, which are sculpted very nicely and just look great. Then of course we get our Build-A-Figure piece. So we get Colossus's right arm with him, and you know, well done. And again, just not going to go too in depth to it because I do want to get the entire Build-A-Figure here. So we'll see how long that takes me to get. And then we get the right fist. And interesting to note that these hands are actually reuse. They are the exact same that come on the Apocalypse from the Age of Apocalypse. Well, not this wave, but, you know, in general. So that's a really cool bit of reuse and looks really good. Articulation is really nice for Iceman, and as you can see, he balances well as well. So let's break it down right now. Sorry, from top to bottom as we do. So starting at the head, we are on a ball hinge, and we get some absolutely phenomenal up and down. And you know, maybe a slight bit of tilt, nothing crazy. But again, the other limits of that ball hinge, but just really well done. So really good range there because of the amount of space the sculpt leaves you. No butterflies, but we do hit our T-pose. We have bicep swivel. We have double jointed elbows. For whatever reason, the bicep part of the joint on my left arm is not working well. However, we do get pretty much a full fold here on the right. Then we get our swivel hinge on the wrists, so all horizontal. Then we get our old school original ab crunch to get us about that far forward, about that far back. We have a swivel at the waist. We have almost full splits, like really good range. Then we get thigh swivel, double jointed knees. We get some really nice point. We get some really decent up. And then we get that rocker, which comes out pretty much horizontal. So that's articulation. Jumping into size comparisons, here is Iceman with some other Marvel Legends X-Men, with some other Hasbro stuff, with some imports, with some monsters. Finally, with an Articulate Icons Oni, and yours truly in human form as an Articulate Icons Ninja. So my final thoughts on Age of Apocalypse Iceman is that this is another killer entry into the Marvel Legends line. If you're a fan of Iceman or the Age of Apocalypse story arc as I was. In fact, Age of Apocalypse was the kind of send-off for me. It's when I stopped reading comics, and I was just really happy with everything that happened in it. So there's really a special place in my heart for this arc and these versions of the characters. So it's really cool to see all these coming out now. And yeah, I'm also a huge fan of translucent figures, and this is beautifully done in that regard. So if you're a fan of any of those things, absolutely pick this up. It's, I think, showing up on shelves now-ish in certain stores, and it's online in various online retailers. So I will be including links to some of my favorites in the description below. So yeah, so I want to thank you so much for watching, and if you found this review informative and somewhat entertaining, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and or sharing. And if you want to take it further, I will have other ways to support the channel in the description below as well. So ultra thanks to you one more time for watching, and please take care of yourself, take care of those around you, and most importantly, stay weird, simians.